Unless you've been living under a rock or you are homeschooled or something, you probably heard about Unity Game Engine. It's the game engine that is used to create some of your favorite games that you play on a daily basis. And not only that, big companies like BMW, Tencent, Pokemon Go all use Unity Engine to power their products. But how did Unity go from a small, unknown application to being the leader in mobile game development in many other fields? Unity was founded in Copenhagen by Nicholas Francis, Joachim Ante, and David Helgeson. Unity's story began on an OpenGL forum in May 2002, but that's something that you don't care about and you don't want to hear that. So I'm not going to tell you. The important thing is 3 guys got together to create what you today use to create your Flappy Bird clones and publish them on Google Play. But Unity is not only meant for your Flappy Bird games, instead you can do a lot more with Unity than you can imagine. And by the way, if you want to learn Unity, like create multiplayer games and RPG games, I have a few links in the description below. You see, while other game engines targeted the big AAA game makers at the top of the food chain of the console PC markets, Unity went after independent developers with a less robust product that was better suited to their needs and budgets. Basically, they were targeting poor people like you and me. They were targeting people who are going to create Flappy Bird clones. But as Unity gained popularity, the company captured growth in other market segments and also expanded to meet the needs of higher performance game makers, the ones at the top of the food chain. Today, it's making a push to become the top game engine for building anything in interactive 3D. I can just imagine that in 20 years from today, I can build my grandma in Unity 3D and have it interact with the family. Over 50% of mobile games and 60% of AR and VR applications are built with Unity. This alone can tell you how popular and how powerful the engine is. The first Unity version was published in 2005. The initial goal of Unity Engine was to democratize game development by making it accessible to more developers. This has helped thousands of indie game developers to bring their ideas to life, because prior to this, if you wanted to create a video game, you had to choose from a very few and expensive game engines on the market that were not available to everyone. And I'm glad that we didn't start with game development back then. In 2007, Unity 2.0 launched with approximately 50 new features. The release included an optimized terrain engine for detailed 3D environments, real-time dynamic shadows, directional lights and spotlights, video playback, and other features. The release also added features whereby developers could collaborate more easily. It included a networking layer for developers to create multiplayer games based on user datagram protocol, offering network address translation and state synchronization and remote procedural calls. When Apple launched its App Store in 2008, Unity quickly added support for the iPhone. And if you want to learn how to create iPhone and mobile games, well, I have a few links in the description below the video, so make sure to check them out. For several years, the engine was uncontested on the iPhone and it became well known with iOS game developers. This was the beginning of Unity's mobile game development dominance as well. Unity 3.0 launched in September 2010 with features expanding the engine's graphics features for desktop computers and video game consoles. In addition to Android support, Unity 3 featured integration of Illuminate Labs, Beast Light Map tool, deferred rendering, a built-in tree editor, native font rendering, automatic UV mapping, and audio filters, among other things. In 2012, more than 1.3 million developers were using Unity's tools to create GWiz graphics on their iOS, Android, console, PC, and web-based games. Unity's goal was to be the engine for multi-platform games. Period. This was also the year where Unity introduced 4.0 version of the engine. This version added DirectX 11 and Adobe Flash support, new animation tools called Mechanim, and access to the Linux preview. Fast forward to 2015, Unity started with the goal of making game development universally accessible. Unity version 5 was a long-awaited step towards that future. With Unity 5, the engine improved its lighting and audio. Through WebGL, Unity developers could add their games to compatible web browsers with no plugins required for players. Unity 5 offered real-time global illumination, light mapping previews, Unity Cloud, a new audio system, the new NVIDIA Physics 3.3 physics engine. The 5th generation of the Unity engine also introduced cinematic image effects to help Unity games look less generic. Unity 5.6 added new lighting and particle effects, updated the engine's overall performance, and added native support for Nintendo Switch, Facebook Game Room, Google Daydream, and the Vulkan Graphics API. It also introduced a 4K video player capable of running 360-degree videos for virtual reality. All these features were amazing, and they made game development easy for anyone who wanted to create a game. However, some gamers criticized Unity accessibility due to the high volume of quickly produced games published on the Steam distribution platform by unexperienced developers. Yes, this is aimed at your Flappy Bird clones, so stop making them. In December 2016, Unity Technologies announced that they would change the versioning numbering system for Unity from sequence-based to year of release. Unity 5.6 was therefore followed by Unity 2017. In Unity 2017, tools featured a real-time graphics rendering engine, color grading and world building, live operations, analytics, and performance reporting. Unity 2017.2 underscored Unity Technologies' plan beyond video games. This included new tools such as Timeline, which allow developers to drag and drop animations into games, and Cinemachine, a smart camera system within games. Unity 2017.2 also integrated Autodesk 3ds Max and Maya tools into the Unity engine for a streamlined asset sharing in-game iteration process. Unity 2018 featured the scriptable render pipeline for developers to create high-end graphics. This included the high-definition rendering pipeline for console and PC experiences, and the lightweight rendering pipeline for mobile, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Unity 2018 also included machine learning tools such as imitation learning, whereby games learn from real player habits, support for Magic Leap, and templates for new developers. In 2019, a new link to the Wolfram language was added, making it possible to access high-level functions of the Wolfram language from Unity. Calling Unity objects from the Wolfram language was also made possible via the Unity Link library. In June 2020, Unity introduced the Mixed and Augmented Reality Studio Mars, which provides developers with additional functionality for rules-based generation of augmented reality applications. Every new Unity version introduced new and more improved tools that makes our lives as game developers much easier. But if you truly want to learn Unity and create better games than Flappy Bird, I have a few links in the description below, so check them out. And yeah, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more awesome videos.